Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is a new devlog for my game Arcade Wizard, and today I want to showcase a new enemy and an improvement to the coin collection. But before we get into the video, I want to highlight a couple of comments that made it to the Trello board. So the first comment is a comment by Reality Games about an enemy with two states. One where the enemy isn't that intimidating, and the second state is where it becomes more intimidating and more dangerous with another attack. I think this will work well in the lava levels, so I will keep this idea for those levels. The second comment is a comment by Doradoortje, and this comment has a lot of great ideas in it, but there were two in particular that I put into the Trello board. The first idea is for the gravestone spawners, that they have another state when they spawn an enemy. I think this is a great thing to implement because the other spawners also have this mechanic, so I put it into the Trello board. And then there were also a couple of enemy ideas, and I think the spider idea will fit really well with the game, so I put that one in the Trello board as well. The last comment that made it to the Trello board this week was a comment by Fairly, and this comment actually had a great idea for a shooting enemy and not have the shooting enemy move, and this wasn't something I thought of at first, so I implemented it in the enemy of this week. So let's get into the enemy of this week. So this week I made a skeleton enemy. The skeleton spawns from a gravestone and stays where it spawns. At first I thought I should have the skeleton move, but then I saw the comment by Fairly and thought, well, maybe if the skeleton doesn't move, it will become a little bit harder, because if the skeleton follows the player around, then the old same problem will occur where all the enemies will just follow the player around and the player can run around kiting the enemies infinitely. But the cool thing with a stationary enemy like this is that the player will have to walk up to the enemy and deal with it, so the player cannot just run around having the enemies follow him. The player will actually have to go to the enemies and deal with them. Another cool thing about stationary enemies is when they shoot, because then they actually form a threat to the player, so the player will have to deal with them quickly, or there will be just a bunch of bullets flying around the level everywhere. So in the past couple of weeks I've been adding a couple of new enemies, namely the bomb, the ghost and the skeleton. And I noticed something during the testing of these enemies, and that is that the enemies take a lot more effort to deal with, and the reward that the player gets for this isn't that great. It's still the same as the normal enemies, so destroying 10 mushrooms is really easy. It rewards the player with 10 coins, but destroying 10 skeletons, which is way harder, also gives 10 coins. So I thought I have to make a second and maybe later on third tier of money, so the player can actually get more coins from the more difficult enemies. So right now I implemented the second tier of money already, which is a bag of coins. And this bag of coins contains 5 coins right now. I'm not sure the amount of coins it will have in the future, because I might change it up in the balancing phase later on, but for now it's just 5 coins. So that's it for this week. Next week I will make another enemy for the horror levels, and I think I will also try making a couple of testing levels with actual waves in them to see what the difficulty of the game is like with these new enemies. If you have any ideas for new enemies or bosses, then please leave a comment in the comment section. It might end up in the Trello board. For now I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to stay updated, and I hope to see you next week.